couldn't hear any of that.
I'm so glad you said that.
No. So say it one more time.
Out of all the supernatural deaths, which was the hardest, and why was it Bobby's?
After all the supernatural deaths. I mean, I think Dean's was pretty tough, but... What? I can't understand that. Which one of Dean's deaths? Oh, Death by Taco, I think is... Who dies, you know? I think the one episode I died like 60 times or something like that. There was an episode where it was Groundhog Day, and every day Sam would wake up and have to figure out how to save his brother, but his brother always ended up dying. And it was a piano fell in my head, electric shaver. I just said, "Does this taco taste funny to you?" Boom! Smash cut to the next morning. Fun episode for me. Not so fun for Jerry, because he had to mourn his brother's death every single day. And he'll tell you that too. He's like, "It's one of the worst episodes I had to do." And I was like, "Not me. I was having a grand old time." I would say that yes, Bobby's death was. I mean, there's been some really tough.
I was hoping you'd say me.
But let's start out with the first one to set the entire show into motion, shall we? This lovely young lady over here. Because without this one, we would have no show.
Don't even start on that subject. I'm not going anywhere near it with a barge pole. I only ever died once on Supernatural. In real life, something different, but only once on Supernatural.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. If you need to put the microphone out, you're more than welcome to put it down or take it out. Sure. Thank you.
Sorry. This one's also for everyone there, but out of the lives of Sam and Dean, which one would you rather live?
Out of the lives of Sam and Dean, which one would you rather live? DJ?
Your hair seemed easier to manage.
Also, I didn't hit my head walking into every doorway. I don't know.
Sam.
What?
Well, this is going to be a fun weekend.
Do tell.
You seem like the nicer guy. Controversial.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Oh, that's a good. See,
Good save.
She was Sam, then she'd get to hang out with me all the time. Oh yeah. Good save.
Kurt, who would you rather be, Sam or Dean?
Oh my God. Well, I gotta say, I have said in the past that I hated this man right here.
I'm sensing a theme here.
His hair, okay? He's got the best hair on any man I've ever seen in my life. And his jaw, okay? I have a weak chin. This guy, look at this guy. So, I have to say, please, calm down. I have to say, I want to be this guy right here. And you can't blame me. Look at him.
How much do I owe you?
Don't worry, I'll collect.
I already paid him. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. So this is a question again for any of the cast members. So besides the roles you have played in the show, which alternative character would you like to have played and why?
Ooh, I would like to play Ellen. Just a ballsy.
Strong female character.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun as hell. And she works in a bar.
Yeah. It's a good role.
What did you say?
Ellen.
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 She works in a bar!
I just heard that rah rah.
So any character other than the characters that we play, which character would we like to play?
Yes.
Oof. Do you go with the real interesting choice, or do you go with the one that just kind of came in and had the cushest schedule on the planet? Is this
He wants to be Sister Joe.
is,
He wants to be Sister Joe.
I would say if, and this is in no way, I would never, if given the opportunity, I would absolutely say not a chance in hell. But I would say that I'm gonna pick two roles, and it would be either Rowena or Crowley. Because I think it's so interesting to be effectively the bad guy, but also play for the good team. I think that's such an interesting line, and the two of Shepard and Ruthie, I think, delivered award-winning performances on all accounts. But that just seems so fun to be the bad guy playing for the good team, kind of like Soldier Boy. See what I did there? I kind of wove that back to me somehow. That's a skill.
Was there anyone else on the show but Crowley? I don't remember. I just remember Crowley and blah 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 blah. Crowley, blah 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 blah.
No one that mattered, Mark.
That's right. No one that mattered but me. It's a great character to play. The one character, you know, is that old joke of you either want to play the guy that sells them out before they leave the planet, Dr. Zachary Smith in Lost in Space, right? Or you want to be, or as I was in Supernatural, basically Eddie Albert in Green Acres, which is the last sane man in the universe. And if they'd just done what I said when I said it, everything would have been fine.
My God. I cannot
Just like
believe
real
that
life.
analogy.
You know it's right. You know I'm right.
I know what you're talking about because I'm older. But
So I'm basically Eddie Albert in Green Acres.
I have to say, I hate to, you stole my thunder, but I was immediately thinking, I wanted to be Crowley. Because he's bad, but he's not bad. He's a hero. Where Zachariah is just a dick.
It is one of the great gifts of my life. Truly one of the greatest gifts of my life. That I was given something to play with, and then to have a team of writers over the course of that time that took joy in just trying to make the craziest stuff happen. It was a joyous experience, and to go on that journey with all these people, and to get to interact with all these people. And it really did have an amazing development for me, and I don't think I've ever done work anywhere, serious, not serious, whatever, makes no difference. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity in any other role to go that far with a character that should be in one direction, but is in many directions. And you and I were sitting on a plane once, and we postulated, it was late at night flying somewhere, and we postulated that, you know, to love Supernatural is to love the Winchester Brothers. There is no way around that. That is the bottom line. You love the Winchester Brothers and the Winchester Brothers journey. Everybody else supports that. Everybody else is part of that, in very vital support of it. But there's a thing about the Angel and Crowley that our love of the Winchester Brothers gives this wonderful platform for the audience to sort of love you guys vicariously through our actions, which I just think is fantastic writing and fantastic storytelling. And as I said, it's been one of the greatest gifts of my life to go on that journey with you guys and just see what are they going to do to me next.
still remember you flying here and hitting a tractor.
That's my poor stunt double. Oh my God, Richard Spade directing that episode. And there's this wonderful moment with me and Jerry. You remember Jerry? Playing the Prince of Hell. Jerry's a wonderful martial artist and he's outside with me and our voices are going so low. The two of us are going, well, and I'm going, well, maybe you can just spare the Winchester brothers. And then he's like, and the next thing you see is me being fired like Bugs Bunny through a barn door. And my poor stunt double hit that. Remember when he hit that tractor? The sound of him hitting that tractor was like, oh, boom. So I was doing an ADR for that. So this is one of the great joys. I met at Warner Brothers and I went, I'm going to make Bob Singer laugh. So our voices were so deep and so macho in this scene. We were like literally just our voices were going through the floor. So the scream I did going through the doors. Apparently he did a spit take when he heard it. So I was so proud of myself. Fun stuff.
When you made that tong noise, the whole crowd just went, ooh, cringe.
It was visceral. I was standing there and I was like, oh. I wasn't sure he was gonna move. We were asked this question a lot, and it's so hard because I actually think there was some kind of like fairy dust on casting when they picked who they picked for each role. Like, I can't imagine anyone else playing any of the roles. That being said, I would have liked to have been, if I couldn't have been Mary, which was a dream role for me, I would have liked to have been God. Just go to the top, right?
I would have done any female role on Supernatural, anyone. And I tried out for a lot of them. And I'm not lying, you guys. There's tape somewhere. All of them. And we were dating, and I was like, what is going on? Like, can you not help me? So, yeah, that is the truth. Anyone. Absolutely anyone. And still, if they ever do it again, I'm ready.
Did you try the I Know a Guy?
Yes. Oh, yes. I've been to dinner with them all. I'm like, hey, guys, I'm here. It took 13 years.
You ended up with the perfect. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah. And I got to work with a great actor.
Okay. Oh,
Mark Pellegrino.
see, I did you a favor, because otherwise you would have probably been stuck with me, and then this way I was like, I think she's really going to want to hold out for something with a better actor. So let's...
Big favor.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm just curious to know if any of you actually believe in the supernatural, and if so, if any of you have experienced any supernatural paranormal?
She'd like to know if any of you believe in the supernatural and if you've ever experienced anything
I
supernatural.
thought that I didn't, but I did that show Hollywood Mediums. You know Tyler Henry? I did that show, and there are things that he told me that I cannot explain that he knew. Like my grandfather came through and told me some things, apologized for things that I never talked to anyone about. I found something. My grandfather died because he wouldn't take his medication and made him feel bad. So when I was cleaning out he was born in the Depression, when I was cleaning out his house, I found a pickle jar full of his medication. He would just take one out of the bottle and put it into the pickle jar every day and put it in the back of his closet. And I found it, and my 12-year-old self knew that nobody should see that, so I wrapped it in newspaper and put it at the bottom of the dumpster, and I never told anybody, not one person about it. And also, my family, they're all rednecks, so if somebody called them from Hollywood, it was Hollywood called us. Nobody was interviewed at all, and I cannot explain it, so I don't know what I know. Like, I think it's hubris to think that you know anything. We don't know what happens next. There's no way to know. But I know that felt real to me, And I don't think a 19-year-old kid could have manipulated that out of me. There's no way. So that actually happened. So I don't know what I believe anymore, and I think that's a good way to be.
Oh God. I've been asked this question a few times, and my responses haven't really changed. I don't not believe. I think that there is certainly unexplained things out there, like DJ's story, like how could he have possibly known that? So I'm not counting out some sort of not being able to understand a certain aspect. But I am so much more a person that thinks that the bump in the night or the chill that I feel is caused by something practical. I very rarely go to the, oh, it's the other side.
A literal ghost could be standing right in front of us, like over our bed. I'm like, Jensen, do you see that? And he's like, oh, that's a reflection from a car down the street. This is so the truth.
You should be on all of our panels. I love
Which, by the way, she has done. She's like, do you see that? And I'm like, no, it's fun. Or did you feel that? And she showed me videos. We have video of a door opening and then closing and then opening.
On command.
And then she's like, can you do it bigger? And she's like asking the ghost for like more, like, can you perform at a higher level? She is the opposite end of the spectrum where she is like,
I'm like
ghost.
Everything is haunted.
Energy,
everything.
haunted, everything is haunted. And I watched that video and I showed, but.
He's like, that's the air conditioning.
And I'm like, no, there's a return. There's a return on the inside of that hallway and a return on the outside of the hallway. Something was going on with the wind flow. It was creating, like, I'm immediately that guy. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, see, airflow actually goes this and then it cuts. Yeah.
We've used those, like, what are those, you find water with it, but it's like a
Divining rod.
Yes. What's it called?
Divining rod.
Divining rod.
Or that.
Divining rod.
In this country, it's divining.
Oh, don't applaud that. I did the best I could with what I know.
Yeah.
We've done things with those where, he's actually, to be honest. I was using them and he was like, that's not.
Daniel, it's really simple. 15 years of conditioning is as soon as you say that, he wants to go to the trunk of the car and just stop out of the back to deal with it.
And we have the car now, so you can.
I will say this, that, again, like I said, I tend to go more practical and that it's something that is...
No fun. That's the answer. No fun.
But there was a moment a few months ago where I was coming up from, we have a basement in our house, I was coming up from the basement and nobody else was down there and I did the mistake of turning the light off before I ascended the stairs.
Nope.
Instead of getting to the top of the stairs and then turning the light off.
Amateur.
And whatever, I'm like, I can walk the stairs in the dark. I know how to put one foot in front of the other. I turn the stairs up, or turn the lights off. I start going up the stairs, and I just hear this behind me. And it's something.
Must have been the air conditioning.
I didn't turn around. I quickened my step, opened the door, slammed it behind me without even looking, and I just go, nope. So that's where I'm at with this. And we clearly know where she's at with this.
I answered.
By the way, how cute are you two? I have to say, it's a really great question that everybody wants to know, and it's a knowable thing for most people, for me, but I desperately actually want there to be a supernatural element, something else. As I get closer to the end of my life, more and more, I never made it down. I've done therapy. As I get to know, I desperately want to, and I think a lot of us want to, whether there is or not. You know, how much faith do you have? I just don't know.
Just wouldn't it be cool if there was, kind of a thing? Wouldn't it be cool to know that there was?
Yes, I want to live forever. I don't want to die.
I mean, it's kind of a great question. It's what the show is about. I mean, it's, and I don't want to bring another show into this, but the show I've been doing, Evil, is all about, is there a supernatural? Is there another realm? So I've been thinking about it a lot, and I get asked that a lot, and it really is, there is no proof, but there are feelings and faiths that get involved. That's a serious answer, which no one else would give.
We had a ghost in our house in LA. I named him George. I would see him out of the corner of my eye, always in the same spot, always in the same outfit. Like, my son was, for the first 2 years of his life, this guy was around, and like any of Wyatt's he had very few toys that would have any electronic components, but anything that was left in that corner would turn itself on and off, and like the little walker thing with the beeps, the beepy horn, and the little race cars, turning itself on. I'm like, hey, George.
Battery glitch. It's just a battery.
But I never said anything. And at one point, I said to my landlord, I was like, I think we have a ghost. And she goes, my husband is standing there, and he looks at me and he goes, you've seen him too? And my neighbor goes, oh, we hear him. And we were like, yep. And I said, is he wearing the hat? And he goes, in the coat? I'm like, yep. Hey, George. And my son would be on the changing table, and he'd look over and he'd go, looking at something, and I'm like, yep, okay. And then one day he disappeared, and then our chimney stopped working. The smoke kept coming in the house. We had the chimney sweepers come 3 times, and on the 3rd time, he's in there with the flash. I was like, I don't know, it's like this weird fog up there. I'm like, yep, that's George, close the flue, we're done. And that was the end of that. Never used the fireplace again.
We have a winner.
There's a weird thing about, well, there's a lot of weird things about my life, but I think as I'm approaching the later years of my life, God, wouldn't life be truly boring if this was it? That's the point to me. Too many miracles in my life, too many things that are unexplainable, too many things that I can just look at as gifts or help or nudges in wonderful directions and changes in courses and things that happen and visceral things that have happened around me. And that's when I get the giggles and I just go, yeah, I am not the center of the universe. I like to be, but I'm not. But genuinely and honestly, there's, as you say, there's this wonderful little place in my heart that just goes, yeah, why not? Why not? Because there's been so many joys and so many gifts in this life and so many circumstances that are totally unexplainable to me. And I'm very, very happy that I'm still alive and get to see him. So yeah.
Great question. Thank you so much.
Hi there. Hi, my name is Melissa. Thank you all for coming. You all look amazing given the fact that you've been here for 2 days straight. Jensen actually is. But it's a personal question. So obviously when Sam and Eileen is obviously communicating and Sam knows a little bit of ASL, did anything ever occur to you that maybe you wanted to do any of that on the show, or was that something that you didn't know? As in, like, obviously Jared had a bit of background of it. Is that something that you would have liked to have done on the show if given the chance? And yeah, that's basically my question.
The Latin?
Sign language?
Oh, sign language. Oh,
Yeah.
sign. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thankfully they gave Jared all that stuff. They gave him the Latin, they gave him the sign language, they gave him, you know, having to play Lucifer, and having to be soulless, and like, yeah, just give it to the kid. No, it was just kind of something that I think made more sense story-wise, because of Eileen's character, or because of Eileen and then Shoshana's character, and Sam having more of a relationship than I think Dean, and so it made more sense for Jared to be able to utilize that skill set. And then, you know, I said Latin, same thing for that. Like he's such a nerd. He took Latin in school, and so he had, and I guess the writers found out about that, and so they just started giving it more to him. And then I remember the first time, like, I had to do it, and I was like, it definitely made me appreciate his skill set more. I was like, oh, this is actually fairly difficult. Like I kept stopping like mid-take, and I'm like, wait, how do you say what is it? Exorciamus? He's like, no, that's not it. I'm like, say it one time! Yeah, that kind of stuff was a little out of my wheelhouse, so they gave a lot of it to him. But I mean, look, they had other challenges for me. Challenges that I never assumed would ever come up in conversation. Unfortunately, you know, this man was subject to be a part of one challenge that I never.
It was awful.
When the showrunner calls up and says, "Hey Jensen, can you dance?" I'm like, "Is that what you're asking Jared?" He's like, "No. He does the sign language and the Latin and stuff. So we have to figure something else out for you. Can you dance?" And I'm like what? Like square dance? What are you talking about? And he's like, "No, like Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire." I'm like, no, what would ever give you the impression that I would know how to do that? And he's like, well, you and DJ are gonna learn how to do that. Is that cool? And I think
It was so casual also how they asked, hey, can you dance? Like, I can move. Okay, cool.
Okay, great.
3-minute choreographed tap dancing routine. And I was like, if I knew how to tap dance, I never would have survived. I grew up gay in the South. If you can do that, I would have been murdered in high school. But you're amazing though. Like, so they only gave us 1 hour of rehearsal on the schedule, and like, no, we're gonna do it for more than that. You stepped up for us. But the thing that I still have a hard time getting over, we were supposed to rehearse for the first time the same time. You left set 15 minutes before I did. I got there and you fucking knew it. It was so annoying. But the cool thing is that, and I did not know it until 5 minutes after we started doing it, for real, is that you were like, we're gonna do it over and over again and take this cane and hat home and knock over every lamp in level furnished living. And I did, and I got there, and I'm really glad, like looking back on it, what a cool thing that we got to be a part of.
It was amazing.
But it was scary as hell when they asked me, can you do this? I can probably do a little something. And I see it, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, so that was the kind of challenges that the writers threw at me. And I don't know, given between tap dancing and sign language, I don't know, I think I would have I'll take the tap dancing.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Hi guys, one of my favorite elements of the show is the music. So I was wondering if you guys have a favorite needle drop of the show?
Yeah.
Mine is Poison by Velvet Vogue, without a doubt. It was such a good entry song. So smart of them, and I loved that song when I was a kid. I was like, oh, I feel seen.
So many.
I mean, there's so many. I'll give a couple. Just throw them out there. One of my favorites was the end of Night Shifter, which was the bank robbery episode, where the brothers come out of the bank in full SWAT gear, and they walk to the car, and they played "Renegade" by Styx. And I think just given the episode, the weight of the episode, that was just such a good one. Obviously, Eye of the Tiger.
What was the one for Death? Do you remember when Death first appeared? With the slow motion shot?
Yeah,
that
so
aria sounding.
So that was Odette. Yeah,
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you remember the slow mo?
Of course.
Yeah, but do you remember the first take? Remember Tim, the Steadicam guy? Remember Tim, the bareback? Most of you don't see because they used the second take of that, but in the first take, they went across the 59 Bubbleback Cadillac license plate, and the license plate on the first shot was caught, and it's bye-bye. It was like, those moments with that music.
By the way, you know who directed that episode? Phil.
It's
and Phil Segricha is a master when it comes to little details like that. And he, I guarantee you, he put that license plate on there. That was his idea. I also think, wasn't the person who was singing Odette?
Jen Titus.
Who was it?
Jen Titus.
Jen Titus?
I think it's Titus.
I want to say that we used it again at some point, and Lisa Berry actually recorded it. Who picked up the site eventually. I could be wrong with that, but I want to say Lisa Berry recorded that. She did, right? Yeah. But I don't think it was the time when we saw Julian Blake Death. I think it was years later, right? It was when she was the Reaper. Yeah, and she recorded it in her voice, which is, I mean, again, I think that was Phil's idea.
extraordinary. I mean, Phil was brilliant at that. His editing skills are just.
I think some of these people need to do the panel.
Oh no, that's the best thing about I'd be like, oh, what episode was it when and boom, people know it. It's so
really good.
Oh, it's amazing. I would lose trivia to you guys all day long.
When I did my first panel, I was told by the cast, don't make up an answer because they already know it. So if you don't know it, come clean, and then somebody will yell it at you. It's what freedom feels like. You don't have to remember anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are a couple of really great needle drops, and I mean the show was. I will say that the show had a lot more than the earlier seasons of the show, and it wasn't for lack of trying. It was for lack of money. As we got a little older in age, the show got more expensive, and there was less money for post-production, which means less money to buy songs, and bands aren't giving away music for free. So unfortunately, it came down to a budget issue a lot of the times, where we could only afford, maybe one song per episode.
You could have sung them.
Yeah, one song every few episodes. What's that?
You could have sung them.
Move to summer. It's August.
You could have sang the song.
You could have sang the song.
Oh, I could have sang the song?
Yes.
I'll tell you, I got a few, I got a little bit of mine in there, and they didn't pay me anything, so.
I remember you doing I'm Too Sexy for my show. That was phenomenal. That was truly phenomenal.
I've washed that from my mind.
But isn't it true, for all of us, isn't it true that no matter what, the moment, especially when we were at San Diego, but the moment that we hear Carry On and the opening bars to Carry On, it's just, I just think about it and it's like, we know what's coming, something is coming next. There's something about that. It's such a codifying song for the show. It's just, to introduce the story so far.
Yeah.
It's
No matter where I
fantastic.
hear it anywhere in the world, I think about you guys.
Yeah.
Always, forever.
I hear it anywhere. I keep looking for a scream.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This might be our final question. We're going to check the time, but no pressure. No pressure.
Hi, I'm Abigail from Hungary, and my question is for Jensen. Once you said they suddenly took control of you, and how is it with Ben, Soldier Boy?
So, I'm sorry, repeat that one more time. Sorry, it's just hard to hear up here with the backup.
Once you said Dean suddenly took the control of you, how is it with Ben, the Soldier Boy? Maybe silly question, but once you mentioned suddenly turned like Dean and
How is it going from Dean to Soldier Boy?
yeah, how is it with him?
I'd be interested to hear what a lot of these folks have to say about like how to differentiate yourself from, once you've been playing a role for so long, and then moving into something that, you've been told specifically by the showrunner not to do what you've been doing. Because Kripke, who obviously knew Dean very well and was now creating Soldier Boy, he just very simply was like, yeah, just, forget about Dean. I want you to come up with your own. And I'm like, I spent 327 episodes playing this guy that you created. Now you want me to just erase that? Yeah, that's what I he gave me some good comps, and I talked to him and I talked to Phil about, giving me some ideas of maybe people or characters that I could kind of lean more towards and lean away from Dean. And so I'll say this, like I had Dean down pretty well, I'd say by the end. I didn't need to think about how I was going to play him. He was just right there, very easily accessible. Sometimes she would have to tell me to stop acting like Dean at home because my Dean would show.
Get your own water. Like, what?
Well, that's just me acting like an actor.
No, but the voice.
Yeah.
And when you did Soldier Boy, it was during COVID, a lot of that process, so I would listen to it and I would say, I still hear it, because there's just little moments,
That's just my voice. I will say that the best compliment I got after I turned in a few days as Soldier Boy, and more so, I think it was maybe a couple of episodes. I did get a very lovely email from Kripke saying how happy he was with what I was doing and to keep going, and then he closed out the email by saying, "I never once saw Dean." And that to me was that was something that just really helped me, gave me confidence enough to keep doing what I was doing in that space. But it can be tough to kind of differentiate characters, especially when you're playing something that's so wildly different. This is a guy who's from the 40s and 50s, and so I just kept watching, old interviews of Lee Marvin and trying to come up with different ways of like making myself think about this guy. So I don't know. I mean, Mark, you've done a bunch of different characters. Sam, you heard all of you guys. Is there something that do you look for comps, or do you just try to find something inside yourself that is different from specific to like this character?
It's for me, and it's always in the writing, in the script. The script is the Bible for me. And by the way, having done so many different things, I remember coming on Supernatural, and you guys have hinted at it, but to directly say, the writing on this show was immediately extraordinary when I read the first script. And And because it's so complex, and it's got so much depth to it, I can see, you know, and it's amazing, here you are doing hundreds and hundreds of episodes and you still care and you're stressing about it and you want to know what Kripke thinks and you want, you know, number one, a testament to how you stuck with it and you cared and you gave it everything you had all the way through, which is why one reason why the show lasted so long. And two, when the writing's that good, it's hard. It's hard to, you want to fulfill it and it implies all sorts of things that you want to reach, and it almost feels like you never will, but that journey and the effort informs the character. That's what I think, anyway. You don't impose yourself on it, it comes in through you. That's a lot.
The lack of self-aggrandizement is empirical, it's absolute. If you want to tell a story, which you do, which all of you do, I've watched all of you work, you want to tell a story that supersedes I want to look cool. I want to look cool is where you go back to the same. It's when you go, how do I tell this story? And when that question just goes, how do I tell this story? Then everything changes, and it's down to the writing and down to the want and the love of the story and the love of what you want to convey. And I've been so lucky in my career that I've had so many things being given to me or even written for me, which is mind-blowing to me, that you're going, oh my God, what do they want from me? And I know Soldier Boy is like that for you, because I've watched it and I'm going, there ain't a spot of Dean in that. It's new, it's something, it's different, it's a fully fledged character. And that's what I expect from you anyway. You know what I mean? I just expect that from you because you want to tell the story. You know, and that's what I think the difference is between the stuff that we like as fans is made with passion, it's made with love, it's made with heart. It doesn't always succeed, isn't always brilliant, but it's made with an honesty to itself. And as long as we honor that honesty to itself, then we as fans, we as lovers of that, truly embrace it and go, yeah, there's something here for me, you know? And I think that's the greatest gift we get.
The passion and love and respect that you guys have for the Supernatural fans, not just here but worldwide, is really, really something amazing. And we want to say thank you to all of you guys for loving the show and making this happen. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so very much.